Hey everybody, my name is Ryan Jordan with Backpacking Light. Today is a little bit of an exciting day in the gear world with some new developments in the area of satellite messaging devices. I've been a fan of backcountry photography for a very long time. I am still in love with my Contact T3 point and shoot camera that takes film, and there's something magical about not only capturing images in the backcountry and recording it as a journal of your trips, but in sharing it with people. And I think that is one of the highlights of my career as both a journalist and an expeditioner, is being able to record my journeys and memories photographically and in writing. I love to write as well. Here's an image of me shooting some pictures with a very heavy DSLR in the Bear Trap Canyon wilderness in 2008. I have since lightened up my kit quite a bit, but this represented the heavy phase I went through after I retired my Contact T3 and went into digital photography. There's something about photos that allows you to tell a story that I think is really meaningful. And so I capture my entire life in snippets of photography. And one of my favorite things is going through old photo albums and seeing some memories that pop up as a result of some past activities, whether it's with my parents, with my wife, or celebrating milestones that my son has achieved in his lifetime. There is something that happened when online photo sharing services came about in the early 2000s with the advent of Flickr and some of these other services. And psychologists started to study the idea that photography creates connection. And we know that's true intuitively, but we also know that it is an important way for people to connect socially, even people who don't know each other. But more importantly, I think the people that you do know, sharing photos with them is a way to celebrate some of the activities in your life. And I think that's an important part of the human experience. When satellite messengers came out, I was very excited about this. And I know there is an emergency component to satellite messengers that is invaluable. That's why I carry them. However, one of the pleasant things that I experienced in using satellite messaging devices was what people on the other end experienced. And I had no real clue what that was like. But for somebody who spends a lot of time, who has spent a lot of time away from their family in their career, I think my family has come to appreciate when they hear from me on an expedition. So being able to share with them a text message in real time saying, here's what I'm experiencing right now, and I just wanted to share this moment with you, is a really powerful tool. And it's a way to foster connection with your loved ones. It's a way to help them miss you a little bit less. And it's a way to let them know that you're doing okay. And that has a really important psychological calming effect for the people back home that normally might be worried about you. So as this market has evolved, we've been yearning for more from satellite messengers. And I'm not suggesting that we want the smartphone experience where communications is coming in and out of you in real time from your entire network. In fact, there is a line, and the line is not very far from where we are at today, where if you cross that line, it's going to significantly inhibit and weaken your wilderness experience. And I think it's important to acknowledge that so that we can responsibly use these devices and preserve the wilderness character of the trip that we're on. Instant messaging has been around a long time. There's no question that it creates a social bond. I've been a user of instant messaging all the way back to the EFNet days. For those of you who don't know what EFNet is, you can look it up on Wikipedia, and it will date me a little bit. But I was also a CompuServe and AOL Instant Messenger subscriber. And so this is in the early days of instant messaging, and they were important days for us to learn how to connect with people in real time who weren't in our proximity. And I think it had a profound impact on our society for good and bad. I'm not going to discount the health effects that instant messaging has on people. So there's two sides to this story for sure. But today we're going to celebrate the positive side, and the side where the instant messaging opportunities with your close network of friends and family has the potential to create a deeper connection while you're in the wilderness. And it has to do with satellite messengers. Now, the iPhone 16 came out recently. That's not what I'm talking about. So the iPhone 16 now has satellite messaging capabilities, brand new, something that will definitely change the game for backcountry travelers. I'm not discounting that at all. The iPhone still has all the problems that come with using an iPhone as an emergency device. You can read that article at Backpacking Light. And we discussed this in depth with the iPhone 14. None of that has really changed. Still has kind of poor battery life. There's still durability issues. I don't rely on my iPhone for emergency communications, especially in situations where I need rock solid reliability. I'm still going to carry a messaging device. But what we're talking about here is taking the text message and elevating it with mixed media. So instead of just texting home to my wife, very pretty sunset tonight, what if I had the ability to send her a picture of my camp in real time? Or to give her some insight into the drama of an overnight snowfall, or to celebrate a surprisingly large trout in a surprisingly small creek, or to give her the confidence that, hey, we reached this 12,500 foot alpine pass. We're all doing well. We're healthy. We're happy, and we're having a great time. Imagine if your loved one on the other end of that could see the photography in real time and enjoy that moment with you to some extent. I know it's not the same as being there, but let me tell you, the combination of a message and a photograph in real time can have an important impact on the people that love you back home. And that's what's happening today. Garmin announced the new Garmin inReach Messenger Plus, which has both photo sharing and voice messaging capability. So we're not talking about two-way voice communications. We're not talking about the exchange of high-res photos or the chance to extend your full social media feed to the backcountry. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about very simple but very different changes in how data is transmitted over satellite devices using a different type of network than what satellite messengers have used in the past. So that's what we're talking about today, is the new Garmin inReach Messenger Plus. The rest of the presentation will be from Emmeline Vandervelden, who will give an overview of the device, its features, its specifications, and what it can and can't do. For those of you who've been around Backpacking Light for a while, you know Emmeline, and we welcome her back from her sabbatical of getting married and having a baby, and she's still at it, and we're really happy to introduce her today so she can tell us about the new Garmin inReach Messenger Plus.
Hello, and welcome to Backpacking Light. I'm Emmeline Vandervelden, and I'm here to give you a preview of the Garmin inReach Messenger Plus. The inReach Messenger Plus was released on September 18th, 2024. The device weighs 4.1 ounces, and its dimensions are 3.1 by 2.5 by 0.9 inches. That's about the size of 2 or 3 moderately sized chocolate chip cookies stacked together. The Garmin inReach Messenger Plus is priced at $500 MSRP. It's the highest priced device on the market, but it's the only device that offers multimedia messaging. The inReach Messenger Plus offers users multimedia content delivered via satellite communicator. What does that mean? It means that the inReach Messenger Plus offers the delivery of photo and audio messaging captured with your phone through the Garmin Messenger app. And I'll note here that audio messages are 30-second sound recordings or voice memos, not two-way phone calls. How is Garmin sending the media files? Garmin has upgraded their service to use the Iridium messaging transport to send multimedia files. Older Garmin devices and most older devices, period, are configured to use short burst data packets or similar and will not be capable of sending multimedia files yet. Wait about 6 months to a year and we'll probably see other competitors enter this part of the market. To use the inReach Messenger Plus, you have 3 options to connect. The Garmin Explore app for advanced navigation features, the Garmin Messenger for advanced messaging features, group messaging, multimedia content delivery, and the inReach Messenger Plus device for basic messaging and navigation features. Nice to have features in the Garmin inReach Messenger Plus overlap with the inReach Messenger and some of the other devices on the market. Nice to have, it's the reverse charging feature. If you're in a bad situation, you're hours or days away from a rescue, and your phone's battery is circling the drain, you can use the inReach Messenger or Messenger Plus to charge your phone and send custom messages to your rescuers. The second nice to have is the adequate on-device display. It's nothing too fancy, it's black and white, but you can do most of your emergency and necessity communication and basic navigation without looking at your phone. To me, what this means is if my phone gets dropped off a cliff, I still have a fully functional communication device. Group messaging is a nice to have from the Garmin Messenger app. If you have 4 contacts in a group, they will all get your message and each other's replies in the app. Off-grid navigation is another nice feature that has basic functionality on the inReach Messenger Plus. This means that there are features on your device, such as the track back features, that are available without connecting to the Garmin Explore app on your phone. Basic weather reports are available for the cost of 1 message out of your monthly plan, and you can get a premium weather report for about $1 each. Backpacking Lite currently has 4 satellite communicators that we say are purchase-worthy. And what we mean by purchase-worthy is we've done enough testing to say we're confident they work reasonably well for specific use cases. Backpacking Lite has done enough testing on the Garmin inReach Mini 2 to highly recommend it as a solid product that meets most use cases. In addition, the Garmin inReach Messenger, the Zoleo satellite communicator, and the Spot Gen 4 remain in the purchase-worthy with caveats. By caveats, I mean we haven't done enough testing to give the gold seal of highly recommend, or we've identified problems with the device for some use cases but benefit in other specific use cases. For example, the device works well as long as you never have to deal with customer service. If you have to deal with customer service, you can expect them to be about as helpful as a ship's anchor on an airplane. I think initially there were maybe 3 distinct use cases for satellite communicators, and I think Garmin has really pushed the boundary here and created one more use case when it created the Garmin inReach Messenger. The inReach Messenger Plus is further pushing that boundary. It'll be interesting to see if it lives up to the expectations. The first use case, and this is one of my use cases, is the emergency only, don't worry mom. I had an original Spot device. I used to call it my body retrieval device, not in front of my mother, mind. But if this is also you, a Spot Gen 4 is probably just fine. It'll track, it'll send a couple of preset messages, and an SOS in an emergency. The second use case, and this is also me, is the emergencies, necessities, and navigation users. These are the people that hate having to connect their satellite communicator to their cell phone. They want an all-in-one communicator and a navigator and to leave their phone at home, or at least in a dry bag 90% of the time. These are your Garmin inReach Mini 2 users. Now, I will say here that the Mini 2 can meet many other use cases than this one, and it can do a lot more than just be that all-in-one device, but it's a common use case for it. The third group are the ET text home crowd, and they want to text from their cell phone just like they do at home. The satellite communicator is a means to an end. It's like a cell phone plan for them. There's no bells, there's no whistles. The smartphone in your pocket that you already know how to use is your main device. These are typically your Zoleo fans. The phone does everything but transmit the data and has a minimal learning curve. The fourth use case that I think Garmin has teased out here is where your use case is a combination of the Zoleo and the inReach Mini 2 user. They're almost opposite use cases in the satellite communicator scale. This is a user that wants full features in both the device and on their cell phone. And this is where the inReach Messenger and inReach Messenger Plus really start to shine. If you have multiple use cases and also want to send multimedia, the Messenger Plus is looking like it could be your jam. Who's going to be in the market for the inReach Messenger Plus? I think the first group of adopters are going to be journalists and influencers that are remotely updating articles or social media sites. And I think the next group that we're going to see are the outdoor guides, educators, professionals, and long-distance hikers that are out of contact for days, weeks, or months, and they want to contact loved ones at home in the most personal way possible. It is really meaningful for someone that's away for days or weeks or months to be able to send home a personalized audio message or to receive a personalized audio message from home. That little toddler that's not feeling well, or the significant other that you haven't seen for several weeks can be a big deal for most people. And I think the final use case that we'll see that are really digging into these quickly are the recreators that are dealing with family member critical illness or other personal situations, such as aging parents, family members with visual disabilities, who may benefit from media being delivered via voice recording or picture messages instead of just a simple text. Currently, Garmin offers two types of subscription: a Freedom Plan. It's a plan that you can suspend at any time. The cost is the annual program fee plus the monthly plan fee for 30 days of use for each month subscribed. This is great for seasonal users. The annual contract, which is maintained all year, costs a $30 activation fee and a monthly plan fee for 12 months paid each month on the date of the subscription start. There are two tiers of monthly plans: Consumer and Pro. Consumer plans will be where most Backpacking Light users will subscribe. Consumer plans start with a safety plan at $15, and it will come to $180 annually. A recreation plan, which is $35 a month or $420 annually. Or you have the expedition plan, which is $65 a month or $780 annually. Pro plans are more for your outdoor education, forestry, parks teams, and more corporate use cases. It offers group billing for multiple devices, and there are, again, three tiers. There is the basic tier for $20 a month, there is the advanced tier for $35 a month, and there's the premier tier for $65 a month. Pro plans are Pro plans are already a Freedom contract with a suspension fee of $5 per month of suspension. This is great for seasonal workers that still want to keep the inReach device ready to go, and they have higher levels of service by default. So if you don't quite fit into the consumer plan, it might be worthwhile to look at the Pro plan. Maybe you have multiple devices or multiple users in your family, and this might be something you want to look into. Garmin has not yet introduced pricing for picture or audio messaging, but we have one little hint from Garmin. And if you look here on the device itself, it shows that there is a counter for how many text and media messages are remaining for the monthly plan duration. I would expect an updated fee schedule or an add-on to the current fee schedule by no later than September 20th, 2024. Thanks for joining me today with this sneak peek at the newest satellite communicator on the market. Check out backpackinglight.com for more details on the Garmin inReach Messenger Plus and other products mentioned in today's podcast. Keep checking back as Backpacking Light gets its hands on an inReach Messenger Plus and provides updates if the reality meets its promising initial impressions. See you in the mountains.